we were asked to talk about one of the biggest fears of our working life, and I said that mine was planning. And the deputy principal said, "Oh, that reminds me, Pip, I need to see your planning tomorrow." And I just went into absolute fits because I didn't feel as if my planning was in any way manageable and nailed down by anything. And then when I started using iUgo, I just knew that everything, for me, it's just summed up by like everything was out there, and then it just went to where it needed to be in a tangible and manageable and measurable way. And so that just helped me beyond anything really.
Yeah, at Teachers College I was doing single lesson plans for every single lesson I was doing, written out on paper, and it just was not manageable at all. And my tutor even said at college, you won't be able to keep this up once you become a beginning teacher. And it was so true. And then once I started, I was kind of just flailing and doing what I thought was good but not really. And then when iUgo was introduced, everything's there, and you know that you're not missing anything out. And as you're planning, you keep coming back to those learning outcomes and checking to see what you've done and what you haven't done and what still needs to be done.
Yeah.
And you know, with all your groups management and all that kind of thing, you can see the movement that they're making. Maths, for instance, you know, the levels, the stages that they're going up. And
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think for you know, especially like at the beginning of the term, like you say, you can start off with your learning objectives and what have you, and as you say, it's all there for you just to put a tick in the box.
Yeah.
And you know that, so according to ERO and what have you, you're going to have all the boxes ticked. But then, from the student's perspective, or as a teacher I should say, for individual students, you can monitor their progress and you know exactly where each student is according to what you've meant to teach them, and how well each student is cottoning on to the various concepts that you want them to learn.
Yeah.
And then you can adapt your lesson very easily, can't you? You don't have to do a whole new thing just for those students. Like, you can just cater within the unit that you've made.
Yeah. Never. I actually literally thought that the other day as I was in the classroom, and I had the iPad there next to me, and just scrolling through what the preparation and resources part and what I needed to get ready for the groups that were about to come in after lunch.
Yeah.
And I just thought, actually, in that instant, I would never go to anything. I mean, I just can't imagine planning any other way.
No.
Now, I mean, this is just it. I can't even comprehend what I used to do or what else you could possibly do instead of this.
No. Me too. And I think it's just so efficient and yet so broad, isn't it? Like, you know that you've covered everything, but yet it's so quick and easy.
Yeah.
And the thing I love about it is because that time is freed up, you can then really think into the lesson and into what you're wanting them to know. Like, Lydia is far more creative than me, and I'm sure she spends that time, you know, thinking about wicked and wild, wonderful things, ways of teaching. I'm much more boring, but I still am able to really think into, right, what is it that I need these kids to know, because all that time consuming stuff that you had to do is just there at the click of a button.
Yeah. And the biggest thing for student teachers is you get told that, you know, you get given that curriculum document, and you get told that you will be working from this.
Yeah.
And you do, and that's so daunting to be taking things from here, there and everywhere. So for a student teacher to know that all of that they're telling you about is in iUgo.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing I love is that you don't have to think, right, which part should I be looking at? Because
Yeah.
iUgo does that for you with the levels in that.
Yeah,
know?
you
And
click on the level and it brings it all up for you.
Specific, tailored for the kids that you're teaching, for the level that you're teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really helpful. And, you know, as you say, just so much more time manageable.
Mm-hmm.